Hi, this is The Greatest Story Ever Played. I'm Dan.
I'm Jordan.
And today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Red and Blue.
Yep. Real throwback here.
Catching them all.
Yep. So, jumping in. Pokemon Red version and Blue version introduced legions of gamers to the world of Kanto, where the likes of Charmander, Pikachu, and Mewtwo were first discovered. Through exciting exploration, battles, and trade, trainers are able to access 150 Pokemon. Your journey will be far from easy. In addition to many trainers and wild Pokemon you'll encounter along the way, you'll also have to be watchful for Team Rocket, a despicable group of Pokemon thieves. Prevent Team Rocket from stealing rare Pokemon and stop their criminal ways. There is much more to see and do in Pokemon Red version and Blue version. Start your journey through Kanto and become a Pokemon trainer.
Okay, so a little bit of background just on the game. It's developed by Game Freak, and at this point there's been 8 generations of Pokemon. So
crazy.
Yeah. This has certainly blown up and been a huge franchise.
Yeah, which is well deserved. They've mostly done a good job from what I've played.
Yeah. So have you played gens besides this one?
Oh, yeah, I've played, probably one from every generation at least.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I've played a lot. I love Pokemon.
No, that's great.
Huge Pokemon nerd.
Yeah, no, that's great. Jordan will probably definitely be our Pokemon guide a lot in this. For me, I've played, obviously, Red and Blue, and I played Yellow, but I don't think I've played any after that. So that's my experience with Pokemon.
Yeah, that's fair. Red's still, probably my favorite, and then Pokemon Gold version is probably my second favorite.
Okay.
Just nostalgia purposes, and just I loved them.
Was that the version after this one?
Yeah, that was.
Okay.
So Red and Blue, and then Yellow came out for Game Boy Color, I think, and then Gold and Silver came out
after that. Okay.
Yeah, and then from there it just goes on forever. But
okay. Nice.
Yep, those are my favorite.
That's awesome. I saw that they developed other games, but I'd never heard of any of them. So it seems like Pokemon's just been their thing, and
well,
I mean they made good games. So
keep doing it.
Right? Yeah, might as well keep running.
Don't
with
get
it.
distracted.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And then for the game, there's really kind of 3 main characters that you have regular interaction with.
Yeah.
I guess. So you have Ash, who's your playable character, a kid from Pallet Town. You could name him something else, but Ash is kind of... That's what I did.
Yeah.
I do Ash. Yeah. You could make it your own name or something else.
Yeah.
And then you've got Gary, who's your rival.
Or Poop Dick.
Yeah, or Poop Dick, or whatever immature thing we all put in.
I still name him that sometimes, or
That's funny.
Douche or something.
I saw someone who named him Bitch, and so
Yeah,
it's like, Bitch, get over here, or things like that.
Yeah, that's great. Which
funny.
he sucks, so...
Yeah, he sucks. He's ultimate turd. And fitting as a rival, actually. I'd say it works out pretty well. And then last, you've got Professor Oak. He's a famous Pokemon researcher who lives in Pallet Town, and he gives you a Pokedex. And what a Pokedex is essentially a record keeping of all the Pokemon, and he gives you one, and that's kind of where your journey starts.
Yeah, he wants to fill up the whole thing, so catch all 150 Pokemon.
Right.
That's his dream, as he says.
Right.
In his long spiel in the beginning of the game.
Right, that all 150 have data on them in his Pokedex, and that's available for everyone, kind of thing.
Yep.
So that's kind of his goal. So, with that, we'll jump into our recap. So you start out in Pallet Town. This is where Ash and Gary are from, and Professor Oak lives. Mm-hmm. And your journey begins because Professor Oak gives you a Pokedex and Gary, and also a Pokemon, and says, go explore Kanto, find Pokemon. All that.
You 10-year-olds get out there and do stuff.
Yeah, it's funny. When as a kid, I didn't think anything of it at all. When I played this, when Red came out.
Yeah.
But it's funny now playing it. And you're like,
that's really crazy.
Yeah, there's just children all over this island.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
fighting their monsters for money.
Fighting Pokemon and giving each other $1,000.
Yeah.
As it goes, it's
and taking down an illegal criminal organization.
Right.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's perfect. It's totally bought in then, and still because of nostalgia,
love it.
Buy in now. But it's funny because you're like, shouldn't this kid be 16 maybe or something? But instead it's he's 10, like you were when you first played or whatever, that kind of thing.
It's crazy too. You're taking down this organization. Do they think out they don't have guns, or they just shoot you in the face after you beat them in a Pokemon battle?
Right.
Or they use their Pokemon to kill you or something like that. So yeah, thank God that it's really wholesome and everyone doesn't try to kill each other actually.
Right. It's just okay, you beat me or whatever.
Yeah.
Move on.
Bummer. Here's $1,000.
Right. Here's $1,000. I'm gonna leave.
Yeah. See you later, kid.
Right. So you get sent on your journey So you get given the Pokedex, and then you get given a Pokemon. And Gary's also Professor Oak's grandson.
Yeah.
But I think Professor Oak even thinks he's kind of a douche.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't mistreat him or anything, but he seems a little wary, so he's like, you two are the best kids in Pallet Town, so I'm going to give you both this journey.
Only 2 kids.
Right, yeah, maybe the only
There's
2 kids.
3 houses here.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he gives you a Pokedex, and then he says, I've got 3 Pokemon, you each can choose 1. And we get first pick.
Mm-hmm.
Your options are Charmander, who's a fire-type Pokemon, Bulbasaur, who is a grass-type, and then Squirtle, who is a water-type.
Mm-hmm.
And with each type of Pokemon, these and then, many more types you'll meet along the game, they all have varying strengths and weaknesses and certain skills they can learn and can't learn and all that stuff. So, of course, this is the first big decision we really reach in this game is who's your starter. Yeah. So, for me, I chose Bulbasaur as a kid and also recently when I just played again. I don't know why I did it then as a kid. I'm not sure. As an adult, I did it because that's what I did as a kid.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, I'm like, he was my guy, I'm going to keep rolling with him.
Yep. I've played this game probably 100 times. So I've chosen all of them at least probably 10 times. But I think I generally go with Charmander just because he's the first one I ever picked when I first played. And I also like Squirtle a lot too because I like Blastoise, who's the evolved form of Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise.
Yeah.
I also chose Bulbasaur sometimes too, but he's my least favorite probably.
Okay.
So this time I went with Charmander.
Okay.
Just for the same reason. I was like, I don't know. I like him. He's got a cool fire tail.
Right.
Looks like a sweet lizard dragon thing.
Yeah, I don't know how you would choose, like, if you played for the first time as an adult. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, is there any thought or how you get there? But I think I just was like, this is my guy.
Yeah, I feel like you're just like, this one looks the coolest. I'm gonna go with it.
Right.
Or I like the idea of a grass type Pokemon or something.
Right. Either being attracted to the type or this one looks cool or whatever.
Yeah, and so I played it obviously a bunch of the other games. I really believe, and probably most people, some people might agree, these 3 starters are probably the best 3.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think so. The second generation has some good ones too. Actually, there's some good ones in all of them, but I think this generation had the best 3 starters you could get. They look the coolest. They are the coolest. I don't know. Famous.
No, yeah, they are. It's cool that they're all significant. Like, they're all of, like, recognizable Pokemon, even for people who don't know Pokemon.
Yeah.
I feel like these 3 starters and like Pikachu are among like the ones people really would know right away. Like you're like, oh, I know this one kind of thing, which is cool. Like being iconic in that way.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. So we got a little bit of feedback from people. Games Till 5 said that always Bulbasaur. That's always their choice.
That's crazy. TLPBC on Twitter says Charmander in my first playthrough, Bulbasaur in any subsequent playthroughs. So no Squirtle. Surprising.
Yeah. Ben on Twitter, only reason why was because as a kid I loved the color red and they had a gif of Charmander, so that was their go.
That's probably why I chose Charmander the first time too. Red was the game I played first.
Yeah, I'm surprised. The first time I played was on red. That does sort of surprise me that Charmander wasn't my guy.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Major on Twitter says Squirtle for the win.
And then Harley said Charmander because he's an awesome fire dragon.
Which is another good reason to pick him.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I feel like you're right. Probably with Blastoise or Charizard, your evolved forms are probably cooler than Venusaur. Like, Venusaur is good. It's a good, strong one, but the ability to fly or surf or whatever, that was something later in the game that I felt is that Venusaur didn't offer those. So
yeah. He can cut, though.
Yeah, I ended up teaching him cut after a while when I had to drop someone else from the team. Say, sorry, you live
you had to cut him.
Yeah, you have to live in the computer now.
Yeah. Got fun in the simulation world.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I felt bad, like something that I felt like as it went on is like I have guys I had for a while and it's like getting near on and I'm getting better good Pokemon. I'm like, sorry, dude, you're not in the team anymore.
Yeah, something I like always did was I'd always have one random Pokemon that like I taught a bunch of the HMs. So like strength and strength, maybe cut, flash, like all the things that like you need sometimes in caves or like to kill bushes, but that was about it. Then I'd always get them when I needed them. But then I have like a rotating 6th Pokemon that I would get for like gym battles or the Elite Four or something like that.
That's smart.
Yeah, because I would teach Blastoise Surf, but I hated teaching Venusaur, Charizard, or Blastoise a different move. It just seemed like a waste because the moves aren't that good. They're like...
Right. Can Charizard learn fly?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he could.
You're right. No, I mean, he has wings, like, duh. But he actually can't.
Huh.
Yep.
Weird.
He could in the second generation and moving forward.
Oh, but
Yeah.
just first gen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'd always get a flying Pokemon to teach fly, too, because it's actually a pretty good move.
Oh, good move. Yeah. Good move and very helpful.
You need it, yeah, basically.
Yeah, once you can fast travel in this game, it is way better. Yeah. So, okay. We've got our starters. We're sent on. Go catch all 150, get your Pokedex filled up. Professor Oak will be psyched. Also, by the way, there's gym battles along the way. You can get badges that kind of affirm your goodness as a Pokemon master. Similar to like being a black belt in karate or whatever, like those kind of things. Like you get better, and when you get them, when you beat gym leaders, you'll receive gifts of some sort. So like an HM or a TM.
Yeah.
You get money, or maybe like a Pokemon up to level 30 will obey you, or like things like that. So you get kind of privileges with gaining the badges and respect from other Pokemon people around you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you're headed into. So we leave Pallet Town to head towards Pewter City, and on the way to Pewter City, you end up traveling through Viridian City and Viridian Forest. And as you go through those, each city you end up like kind of finding new stuff you could buy, people to meet. Sometimes there's people who will give you an item or teach you something like, hey, I can teach you how to fish. Here's this old rod or whatever.
Then you got the good rod and the super rod
Right,
later. Yeah.
right.
There's some old man, too.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
I'm 10. This is weird.
Right. Let me teach you how to fish.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah, so they're kind of funny. You like get something like that, or someone will be like, "Oh, I'll trade you this Pokemon for that one," or you meet kind of all sorts of people like that in towns. With going through Viridian City and Viridian Forest, also you end up buying like Pokeballs so you can catch more Pokemon. What you find out is the way to catch Pokemon is you will hurt them close to their expiring, and then you can catch them with the Pokeball at that point. Like, if you threw a Pokeball at a fully healthy Pokemon, they just pop out of the ball and keep fighting
Most
you.
of the time, yeah.
Yeah, rarely will it just work.
Yeah. When there's one playthrough, I was probably, I remember this pretty clearly, I was probably like 10 or 11, and I was, Zapdos. He was full health. I threw a Pokeball at him, and it caught him.
Oh my
First
God.
try, yep.
Wow.
Just randomly, yep.
That's amazing.
It's just some algorithm in the code that works. It works or it doesn't work.
Right.
So I got super lucky.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, we might
That's
talk more
huge.
about him later. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. That's generally what you should do.
Right. And so at this point, too, like when you get your Pokemon, you're level 5, what you end up finding out is that all Pokemon have varying levels. That corresponds to like how much health they have, how strong their moves are, all that stuff. So what you end up doing through after Viridian Forest and Viridian City and going to Viridian Forest is you do a lot of grinding here. Is you're trying to bulk up a Pokemon squad and also level up a little bit. I would say that this is probably the most grindy part of the game for me. So you've got your guy who's a level 5, and you're trying to catch things. So you can catch like Pidgeys and Rattatas and...
There's some Spearows and Nidorans.
Nidoran.
Nidoran girl and boy.
Yeah. Like Caterpie or Weedle.
Yeah. There's Pikachus too. I always catch one in the Viridian Forest. Yep.
I didn't catch a Pikachu. Or
Yeah,
maybe
they're rare.
Okay.
Yeah, but I always stay there until I get one.
Ah,
Always.
Nice. That's a good idea. I wish I had a Pikachu. I never got one. In this playthrough. So you go around doing that, and you fight a lot of bug catchers. So these are your first experience really battling people that aren't Gary. Because right before you leave Pallet Town, he's like, let's have them fight. We got new Pokemon. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And so you fight him, and you probably lose.
I always save it, and I battle him until I win.
Okay.
Because I hate Gary.
Yeah.
Refuse to lose to him.
Yeah, it sucks losing to him. I don't remember what happened, but what he does is no matter what Pokemon you choose, he chooses its weakness. So you had Charizard or Charmander, so he chose Squirtle.
Yep.
So water type greater than fire type. For me, I chose Bulbasaur, so he had Charmander. And so when later on when he's actually using fire moves, it fucks Bulbasaur up because he's grass. So
burns him alive.
yeah, It's messed up.
Yeah.
So so you end up grinding, fighting bug catchers. These are your first real experience fighting people. This also establishes your money system because when you beat people, they give you money. Also, if you end up fainting and like all your Pokemon die, or not die, faint.
I always say die.
Yeah.
So die. We're gonna say die probably a lot, but it means faint.
Yeah, it means faint. If all of them faint, then you get sent back to a Poke Center where they get revived and you're all good.
But you lose some money, right? Half your money, I think.
Oh, do you?
It's I think when you all your Pokemon are dead or fainted, it's either half or it's some percentage of your money you lose. So
I didn't
there's
realize
actually
that.
some consequence. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just whatever.
No, there's definitely been a couple times where I fought until they all fainted because I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yep.
I
Whatever.
lost some cash that way.
Probably some cash money.
Yeah. But on the positive side of that is someone who beats you, you still can fight them again.
Yep.
So you do get an opportunity to win the money from that person still by beating them. So and you don't have to engage every person you see, but generally speaking you want to because it levels up your Pokemon.
Money.
Yeah, money. And
Yep.
at this point too, like you're just going around killing Rattatas. Like
Yeah. You need to fight people.
yeah, you like really need to fight because you're super weak and you need to level up so that you can fight. So you end up doing that. Ultimately, once you've grinded enough, or if you didn't and you fainted and had to go back, you end up fighting Brock. So you go to the first gym, and the leader is Brock, and he uses rock-type Pokemon. And I think his guys are, I don't know, like 12s and 15s kind of thing, like that range.
Yeah.
They're not
strong.
They're not like 20. They're not that high.
No. Yeah.
So they're challenging, especially if all your guys are like 5s and 6s.
Also, if you have Charmander, it's really tough because there's I don't think there's any grass type Pokemon or water Pokemon you can catch
No.
before you get to him. So I always use a Butterfree here because you learn Confusion.
Yeah.
So that was that makes it somewhat easy.
I think that's what I did when I fought him, I had the raggiest tag group of Pokemon when I fought him.
Yeah.
I'd leveled my Bulbasaur up a decent amount, so he was maybe equal to Brock's ones, but I had a Butterfree that was it was a Metapod still.
So, yeah.
And he was Metapod way too long, and he was a Metapod that I caught as a Metapod, so he only knew Harden.
Oh, so it's totally useless.
No, it sucked. I had to throw him out, let him get hit, withdraw him so he gets XP, send someone out. It was the roughest grind.
Yeah, I never catch them. I always get a Caterpie or Weedle and make them fight to evolve them because
they have the moves, right? Yep. Yeah, I should have done that. It was the ultimate struggle. But I had that, and then I had a couple Pidgeys or Rattatas, something like that, and I just
bodies you throw at them.
No, I think I made it out of this battle with one Pokemon having one amount of health. If they would have got hit one more time, but I got lucky because someone did growl or something stupid against me.
Yeah.
And so I was thank God I made it. But in some ways, Brock felt like the hardest boss because your Pokemon are not set up to beat him that well.
And he's rock type, which
he's rock type, so
there's not much that can beat that this early in the game.
Right? Yeah, If you had a really good grass one, or if you had good water, but I'm guessing Squirtle takes a little while to level up to where he has.
Yeah, he learns
gun?
Bubble at level 8.
Okay.
But then he learns Water Gun at 15.
Right. So
you need him to be
if you could get him that high, he could maybe kill it. But otherwise,
yeah,
you're gonna kind of struggle.
Yep.
So Brock is your first challenge, and it's a good challenge for sure. He's hard.
Yep.
At first, because Onyx is pretty strong.
Yep.
So that's your first battle, but you do beat him, and then he gives you a badge, and you move on. Okay, cool. I'm heading to next place, which is Cerulean City, and this is where the second gym is. And on the way there, you have to travel through Mount Moon. So you go through this cave.
Yeah, first cave.
And through the cave, there's a lot of people to fight. There's hikers and Pokemon trainers and stuff like that. But also, you run into Team Rocket for the first time.
Yep. They're terrible people. Yeah, and there's a bunch of cool Pokemon in the cave too. You get Clefairy, Zubat, Paris, I think, Geodude maybe.
Right. I was gonna say, I think I caught a Geodude.
Yeah, some cool ones.
Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely cool. You can add some guys to your group, which is nice because some of those Pokemon really bring things that are better than your Pidgeys and Rattatas and stuff like that.
Oh, and there's a guy there's a Pokemon Center right before Mount Moon, and you can buy a Magikarp from some guy.
Oh yeah,
it's for way too much money. But I always buy this Magikarp because I always try to get a Gyarados as early as possible. So I always do that because it's level 5, so it takes forever to raise him up. But it's
what's the evolve level?
20.
Okay.
But Magikarp only knows Splash
Okay.
until like level 15. You learn Tackle, but he's still weak as shit, so it doesn't really even matter.
Right.
So you have to like send him in, swap him out, send him in, swap him out.
Yeah.
Super annoying.
Just get him XP.
Yeah, but
bit
it
by
takes
bit.
forever. That's why I get him early, because it takes a long time.
No, that makes sense. That's a good. I didn't buy the Magikarp because it was
Well, it's a waste of money for sure, but if you really want a Gyarados, it's
that's
worth getting early on because it's really useful later.
No, that's smart. I didn't think about that. Can Gyarados learn Surf later too, since it's water? Yeah.
Yep, perfect.
That'd be helpful. So you fight Team Rocket. This is your first experience with them. They suck. They're turds.
Yep. Beat them up.
Yeah. Take their money. You end up getting a fossil here too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Either get the Helix or Dome Fossil.
yeah. So I got. Yeah. You get a fossil. After that, you make it out of the cave. Oh, something that's also in here with the cave is what you learn in Viridian Forest and stuff like that is if you walk through the tall grass, that's where wild Pokemon can appear. In the cave, they can appear everywhere. It's essentially like walking in tall grass everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, so you get that. After this, you make it out of the cave, and you meet a guy named Bill, who ends up giving you a ticket to the SS Anne.
You also fight Gary again before this.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
there's like the bridge you have to cross and beat people, and you fight Gary before that.
Yeah,
so
that's
I think
right.
it's the second time you fight him. Or maybe, actually, technically it's the third time.
Yeah. Because you fight him at Viridian City also? Or
no, you fight him at Pallet Town,
Right.
and you can fight him in Viridian. Yeah, you're right, Viridian City.
because off to like the left,
Yep.
over that way?
Yep, you can fight him.
Okay.
And then, again in Cerulean City.
Okay, right. Yeah, and that's something that you end up seeing as a theme kind of through the game is that Gary is essentially one step ahead of you
Yeah.
the whole time. So, like, you beat a gym boss, he'd recently been there and beat them probably, and
Yeah.
then he ends up finding you and fighting you later. And
Yeah.
you kind of see how he's doing in the Pokemon he's collecting as it goes.
He's always talking shit, too.
Yeah, always talking shit. This guy doesn't stop.
It's like always had to beat him. It's like, nah, dude, you're going to talk shit, you're going to lose.
Right. He's always like, hey, fart pants, I'm
Yeah.
going to beat you and your dumb
Smell you
Pokemon."
later.
Yeah, smell
Yeah.
you later.
Yeah.
He's,
Like, dude, fuck off.
yeah. For being a childhood villain, I've never hated one so
I
much.
know, yeah.
He's the worst.
Like, I'm going to murder you, Gary.
Yeah, I know. I hate him so much. But Bill gives you a ticket to the SS Anne. The SS Anne is a like a cruise ship,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
And you can go on the cruise ship, and you end up getting to fight various passengers and sailors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I jumped ahead.
No, you're good.
You fight varying passengers and sailors on the SS Anne. Ultimately, you end up meeting the captain there, and you rub his back, which is funny.
Yeah,
he's
it's really
sick.
strange, yeah.
But so you consoling him makes him better, and he gives you the HM for cut. So this is the first HM you get, right?
Yeah, yes.
Cut is super helpful because there's varying parts through Kanto where there's this tree that looks
Stupid tree.
a little different than the rest of the trees. Like
Yeah.
it's a little thinner looking.
Yeah.
And so you know you can cut it, and when you do that, there's usually either maybe an item hidden on the other side, or like maybe a guy you can fight, or tall grass that might have a Pokemon that you won't find other places. So it's super helpful as a skill and pretty decent as a fighting skill when you battle other Pokemon. It's not bad.
Yeah, and before this too, you fight Misty.
Yes.
She's the Cerulean City gym leader. She uses water Pokemon. Not particularly hard if you have Bulbasaur. Or, like, for me, I got a Pikachu every time, so it's just like, I'm going to shock you
Right.
4 times and I win.
Right. Having Pikachu helps that. And yeah, for Bulbasaur, not weak to it.
Yeah.
Charmander would obviously have a hard time, but
Yeah.
So you fight Misty. That's good. You move on. After this, you head to Vermilion City. And when you get there, you can look around. Also, this gives you kind of the option of you could go to the SSN before Misty or after.
Yeah.
And actually, as the game goes on, there's a little bit more freedom as to how you want to do some of these actions. We basically just put it in order of the gym battles, kind of with other stuff included around it. But
which is usually how I play.
Yeah, but you do have some kind of freedom within this. Like if you wanted to city hop or stuff like that.
Yeah.
As it goes on, you do end up getting more expanded options,
Yeah.
essentially. So, at Vermilion City, you do different stuff, maybe go on the SSN. But then you go to the gym leader. This guy is Lieutenant Surge, and he uses electric-type Pokemon. He's the guy who you have to do the trash can thing to be able to fight.
Yeah,
right?
super annoying.
Yeah, I looked up how to do it because I forgot.
Yeah,
so,
it's always one trash can that's random and then like one that's next to it.
right. It's like one that's like 2 over and 1 up or something like that.
Yeah,
where it's like a. Yeah, it's sort of annoying.
Yeah.
I'm glad that the internet has guides for something like this. There were a couple times in this where I got stuck, and I am surprised that I had the ability or willingness to do this as a kid, to like grind through figuring something like that out, or that I did figure it out. Even like. So thank you, internet, for guides.
Yep.
Because that helped out. So you fight LT Surge. He again is not too bad. Electric type. You're not really weak to that.
Unless you're Squirtle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For Squirtle.
Yeah.
But since neither of us were, we were fine, and we're able to kind of go through him. Not too bad. After this, you head to Celadon City, and inside there you can visit this mansion, and you end up being given an Eevee, which is cool. A very cute Pokemon.
Yep.
For sure. It looks like a fox, kind of.
Yeah. Little house fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eevee is a cool Pokemon to get to because it can be evolved into 3 different kinds if you use a stone that you buy from the store. And so you can make it a water type, an electric type, and a fire type.
Yep.
So it's a pretty cool, versatile Pokemon to kind of figure out what you want to do with. What I found myself doing is when I got it, I was just trying to level it up before figuring out what I wanted to do based on the Pokemon I caught later.
Yeah, which that makes sense.
Yeah, so that was how I kind of used Eevee at first, but yeah, good find. Nice to get a free Pokemon that was like level 25 to start. That made your like group way better right away because you're like, sweet, see a Rattata at level 10 or whatever.
Get
like,
here, bitch.
Right, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
To the computer.
Released. That was like the worst thing to ever do.
Oh, yeah.
So you put them in your computer, but then you can also release them, so they're like back to the wild. Yeah, and you're like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah. I accidentally caught 2 of a Pokemon, and then I released the lower level one. And
yeah.
I felt bad about it.
Yeah, which I guess they'd rather probably be in the wild.
Yeah,
They also feel rejected. Like, yeah. I don't want you, you suck.
Did you nickname Pokemon ever?
Not really.
Yeah,
no.
I didn't either. I felt like it would confuse me.
I just know what all the names are. So it's like, God.
It's easy to just know them.
Yeah, no confusion whatsoever.
Right, yeah. Same. Then also in Celadon City, you find this secret hangout that Team Rocket has.
It's inside a casino.
It's inside a casino under it. It felt like when the U.S. had like the alcohol ban.
Oh yeah.
And there's like secret bars under things, and it's like it's a pet shop, but then under the pet shop is the bar where like the alcohol's running, kind of thing. Yeah. It feels kind of like that.
It's crazy. You can be 10 and go in there and start gambling. They don't give a shit about it.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's really funny. Yeah, you can gamble to like if you get enough coins, then you could trade them in for Pokemon.
Yeah, or you can buy coins.
Oh.
I would always do this and get Dratini. That was my go-to.
I didn't end up doing any of it. I like gambled because someone gave me coins, so I gambled with them for a little while, and I was like, nah, I'm over this.
Yeah, it's not super fun.
Yeah,
really at all.
Because it's slots, but like
it's
real life slots are definitely way better. And even they're not that great.
And you can win real money. Yeah. Right. So I always did this until I got money because you can buy Dratini. Okay. And I always got one. Well, you usually got one, I guess.
Okay, makes sense. So you end up, fighting through the secret hideout for a while. This was nice. This definitely really gets to level your Pokemon up.
Yeah,
and you get a lot of money.
There's some cool items too.
Yeah, so this is a good part. Then ultimately you get to the end of fighting there, and you fight Giovanni, who is the leader of Team Rocket. So face to face with the dude.
He's just some like Don Italian mobster boss wearing a really nice suit, slicked back hair.
Very Godfather.
Trying to kill some 10-year-old kid.
Yeah. Godfather meets Pokemon. Like, that's what's happening here.
Yeah, basically.
So you fight him. That's good. Then you end up heading to the gym. The gym leader there, his name is Erica. She has grass-type Pokemon.
Yeah, so this is great for Charmander.
Yeah, I imagine you were...
Destroyed them so easily.
Just one hits.
Probably all the time. Trainer, yep, fucking Ember.
Right, just embered all of them.
Yep, easy.
Yeah. So, this one wasn't noticeably too bad for me either because I had grass type too, so...
Yeah, can't really hurt you much.
Right, and I think at this point I was leveled up. My Bulbasaur became a
Ivysaur,
and then a Venusaur pretty fast. Like,
yep.
There was a while, for probably most of the game, my Bulbasaur was 10 to 20 above all my next Pokemon. So it got really strong.
Yeah.
I think that when I was in Viridian Forest, I just exclusively used Bulbasaur, and so he just got leveled up pretty high. So that was pretty nice. I was able to just knock people out pretty good.
I always try to keep mine around the same level, like within 5.
Okay.
I don't know why. I think it's because like whenever I played when I was a kid, it was like Gary's Pokemon were always so cool because they were like the same level. So I've stuck with that.
Yeah.
It takes a lot longer though. It's kind of annoying.
No, yeah, you have to grind with all of them.
Yeah.
That was something is that I think I just did it on accident. It happened and I was like, well, you're this much better. Because then when I fought everyone, my Bulbasaur is always 10 above like the gym leader's best Pokemon.
Yeah, it's easy.
Or Gary.
Yeah.
So it was really nice in that like, okay, if Bulbasaur can do, or Venusaur ultimately, if you can do 3/4 of the fight for me, my other 5 can probably handle the rest.
Take out the trash.
Yeah, kind of thing. And so that usually worked out all right as my ending up fighting method. But I would think I would want to be like you where it was more balanced, though. It's just how it ended up.
You can try to play it again and do it, but it takes a lot longer.
Right.
Yeah.
After Celadon, you end up leaving and heading to Lavender Town. While you're there, you end up going to the Pokemon Tower, where there's a lot of ghost Pokemon.
Yeah, it's basically like a cemetery that's like in a tower form for Pokemon. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of sad people there and like weird psychic people that like talk to ghosts and they're kind of possessed sometimes. It's kind of strange.
It's bizarre.
And you fight Gary again here too.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a lot more sad about this playing recently than like as a kid.
Like,
I think as a kid I was like, ghost Pokemon, cool, whatever. But then this one, when you're going and you're like I think there's a building somewhere by here where you meet someone and they're like, my Pokemon died, you can have this at TM, and you're like, ooh.
Oh yeah, they can die. That sucks.
Yeah, because you don't really think about that they can die when you're battling them because they just faint or whatever. And so this makes you kind of encounter that they can actually die, and you're like, this is sad.
Yeah, this sucks.
I don't like this. Also, the ghost Pokemon, it took me a little while to figure out which Pokemon I could use to fight them, because they just run through me. You use like Dream Eater or something on me and just fuck me up.
Yeah, it's like any non-normal move, I think, can hurt them.
Right. Yeah, so it took but even what they're weak to, what I ended up finding was that Dig with Diglett was huge for me.
Oh, nice. I think they're weak to Psychic.
Okay.
But I think that's it in this generation.
Yeah.
And maybe other ghost moves, actually.
Yeah, it might be something like that, because I ended up not ever catching any ghost.
Really?
I tried to catch some here, and then they just kept getting out.
Ruining you.
Yeah, it was not a good scene for me here. This was a little harder. Then you end up in here, I forget where you find it, but you get a Sylph Scope.
That's in the Giovanni gives it to you when you beat him.
Okay, that's right. So you have that, and you end up using that to see the ghost Pokemon at the top, which is...
Marowak.
Yeah, I was going to say the skull on his face.
Yeah.
That it had been killed by Team Rocket, and so we like fight its ghost.
Yeah, and then you send it into the afterlife, and it's happy.
Yeah, to like help it pass on instead of being stuck in Pokemon Tower.
Yep.
I guess. And when you do that, you end up rescuing a guy named Mr. Fuji, who was at the top of Pokemon Tower and seemingly stuck there.
Yeah, I think he was kept. I think he was like a hostage by Team Rocket. He was like protesting them, like killing Pokemon or something, and then they were like, "No, you're gonna stay here, old man. You're trapped now."
Okay.
So then, you have to free him, and you can fight him, or not fight him. You fight Team Rocket, like 5 people, I think.
Yeah,
They're locking him in there, kind of.
That's right.
Yeah.
After you kill the ghost Pokemon.
Yeah, and then it goes to the top of the tower. And
Yep. That's right. Okay. Yep. So you end up freeing him, and he's kind of like, this wasn't a big deal, but here's a Pokeflute.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, cool.
Yeah. It can like wake up sleeping Pokemon, which comes in handy pretty soon.
Right. Because then from here, this is where your options on what to do expand a lot.
Yep.
And what cities and stuff you want to do gets a bit bigger. So you head to Saffron City from here. You go to Silphco, and you fight Team Rocket through there. In this one, so Team Rocket had taken over Silphco, who basically make like Pokemon items.
Yeah,
kind
they're
of
like the technology company of the world,
right.
I guess.
The Apple of Pokemon.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
And so you go through there and you fight a lot of Team Rocket henchmen. You also fight some scientists who work for Silphco, who are also Team Rocket people and stuff like that.
Yep.
They also have a somewhat annoying portal system thing.
I hated this shit. Like,
Yeah.
even now playing as an adult, I memorized where most of them go. Like, I know which ones to step on, but it's super annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have this portal system where you'll like step on something and it'll send you to a different floor. But then they also have ones where you step on like a thing that looks like a fast forward button. Essentially, it sends you spinning, which is oddly nauseating as a person. Like I hated seeing it.
Yeah.
Like, I would click it and do it, and then I'd look away because I didn't like it. Like it was bothersome. I was like, oh, I hate it. But you have to kind of make your way through Silphco doing that stuff, and ultimately you
fight.
You fight Giovanni again here.
You fight Gary before that too.
Yeah, you find Gary. Then you take that next one to go fight Giovanni again.
Yep, and then I think you beat him, and then you get a Master Ball, which can catch any Pokemon.
Yeah,
100% no matter what. Which is really useful later.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the kind of end of Team Rocket too.
Yeah, they don't come up anymore. Or not really.
Yeah, they like get disbanded basically.
Right.
I think Giovanni's like, we're over. We've been beaten. Everyone's all my henchmen are like defeated. Whatever.
Right. So that was big. This is a big part where your Pokemon really get stronger.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Because there's a lot of people to fight. Also, inside Silphco, there's a part where you can like go take a nap, which essentially functions as a Poke Center.
Yep, it's great.
Which is helpful because then you can use that, fight Gary, go back, use it again, fight Giovanni.
I do that every time.
Yeah, it helps you out quite a bit. So, yeah, that's good. Fight Team Rocket. Then also, what's kind of unique in Saffron City is there's actually 2 gyms. There's one that's kind of an unofficial one where you don't get a badge, but it's there. And then there's the main one. Also in Saffron City, and I think actually happened in Celadon City too, is when Team Rocket's in control, they have varying doors that are like blocked off and stuff like that. And once you beat them, you can go more places and meet more people and get more items and shit like that. So there's that. So first though, you end up going to the fighting gym. This is the unofficial gym. And you end up fighting people who have fighting type Pokemon. By beating the leader, he ends up giving you a Pokemon and says you can either have a Hitmonlee or a Hitmonchan. Hitmonlee is the kicking type, and then Hitmonchan is the punching type.
Yeah, I always went with Hitmonchan.
Okay.
Because he could learn Ice Punch, Fire Punch, or Thunder Punch.
Oh, cool.
So it's like you learn multiple types of moves, which I thought was pretty useful.
Yeah.
I think I like Hitmonlee better because he looks cooler. But Hitmonchan was, I feel like, more useful, I guess. At this stage in the game.
Hitmonlee looks cool.
Yeah,
kind of looks like Hamburglar. Like
He
I
does
feel like
kinda,
if Hamburglar did karate,
it had like legs.
Yeah.
Or I guess he has legs, but
it look like that.
yeah,
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, he's funny. He's like a weird blob with legs and arms. Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up choosing Hitmonlee here. I forget why I did. I might have looked up online what was better, and for some reason I saw something that I liked, and I was like, whatever, sure.
Yeah.
But I ended up teaching him Mega Punch later anyway, so it was like...
It's like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I don't do that, but...
But I do now, I guess.
Yeah,
Because you're such a good trainer.
Yeah, I guess I'll use my hands. Yep, so I get Hitmonlee, you got Hitmonchan. Then you go next door to the real gym. This leader there is Sabrina. She's a psychic-type Pokemon.
Has the same annoying teleporting things on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's... Yeah, I didn't like that either.
Super annoying.
The only positive to that, I guess, similar to the Silphco part, is that there are a lot of trainers you can fight on the way.
Yep.
So again, leveling up, but yeah, it is annoying. I'm not a big fan of those parts.
Yeah.
That's something that if I could take out a Pokemon, I would take that out.
Yeah, it's good there's only like 3 parts where they have it.
Yeah.
Both Team Rocket places and then this one.
Right.
Which is nice.
Yeah, so that is helpful that it's not too common otherwise. So you do that, you fight through her. Again, for me, she was kind of tough because of Ghost type or Psychic type, like similar.
Yeah, very similar.
Similar that their moves really fuck you up.
Yeah, they're weak to. I think Psychic is weak to Ghost and Poison, maybe, or Bug.
Okay.
Whatever. Which you probably don't have any Bug Pokemon.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you don't have any Ghost either.
I think my best was I had a Butterfree here, so I could use Confusion on him. But like,
yeah,
it ended up being a lot of a will of like, I get you down, then you get me down, and like kind of
back and forth.
Yeah. She was definitely challenging for that, for not having her weakness.
Yeah, at this point I was like having Charizard at this point because I think I have Flamethrower and I just it's not super effective, but it's enough that like I'm gonna get you down. I'm gonna kill each Pokemon probably in 2 hits, maybe 1 if I get lucky.
That's huge.
Which is nice.
Yeah, that's big. After this, you travel to Fuchsia City. and you use your Poke Flute to wake up a Snorlax in the road. So before this, there's 2 cities you could go to. There's a Snorlax at each end that prevents you. So you have to go and save Mr. Fuji to get that Poke Flute. If you don't have it, you're stuck.
Yep.
So we used Poke Flute, wake up Snorlax.
Did you catch him?
No, I couldn't catch him.
Yeah, I always try to catch. I save it and try to catch him every time.
Okay. I should have done that because I wanted to have a Snorlax, but I didn't catch him at either time, actually, because I'd like fight him and I'd get him right to the edge.
Rest.
Then I'd use my Pokeball and it wouldn't work, or he'd use Rest and he's all the way back up, and like none of my Pokemon had his weakness quite, so it would either take a while to get him low, or like my moves would be too strong and they'd only make him faint. So it was like hard to.
It's hard balance not to try to kill him.
Yeah, so both times I fought Snorlax, I ended up making him faint, which was a bummer because I wanted one.
That's fair. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked them. Then also here, you can go to Safari Zone, which is essentially like a Pokemon zoo where you don't battle.
Yeah, and you
almost.
And you catch Pokemon with like bait and rocks and Pokeballs, Safari balls, technically. Yeah,
and so their whole thing is that you don't really end up hurting the Pokemon. You basically try to like distract them or make them angry enough that you can catch them.
Yeah, there's some really rare Pokemon here.
Yeah, there are some cool ones. This was definitely where my Pokedex got better, is because I got to catch several Pokemon here in an easy way. And there's also lots of items scattered throughout this place. The catch with the Safari Zone is you get a timer, or you get 500 steps. And so...
Which you can cheat.
Right.
Because you can stand there and just, like... You can, like, change the direction you're looking, and it doesn't count as a step, but, like, Pokemon can pop up if you do that.
Oh.
So you can just sit there and, like, barely click the the buttons to move, but don't actually move. Yeah, it's like a...
That's smart.
It takes a long time, but...
Yeah,
you can sit there for a long time and do that.
I ended up looking up how to get to the things I needed to because it has kind of 4 levels of area.
Yeah, 4 zones or whatever.
Yeah, and because you can run out of time if you go the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like I probably did it 2 or 3 times just exploring and doing stuff.
Yeah, which makes sense.
But then once I was like, okay, I know I need to go to a certain place. How do I get there? So I did look that up. Ultimately, what you find there, the best things are you get an HM for Surf. This is huge. It really helps you out.
Yeah, you need Surf.
You need Surf ultimately, but it's pretty helpful.
Yeah, it's a pretty good move too in battle.
Yeah, good move. You end up finding Surf, but then you also end up finding the Warden's Golden Teeth here.
Yep. Yeah.
So he's outside of the Safari Zone. You try to talk to him, and he's just like,
yeah, he's got teeth.
Yeah, it sounds like he has peanut butter in his mouth, kind of thing. And no one understands him, you either. But you find these golden teeth, and so then when you find those, you end up taking him back to him, and then he gives you the HM for Strength. And in his office, there's a giant stone in front of something, and you can get a TM or whatever.
You're getting a rare candy, maybe.
Oh yeah, it might be a rare candy.
Really useful because they level your Pokemon up 1 level for free.
Yeah, rare candies are awesome.
Yep, the best.
Yeah, they're very helpful. So that's pretty huge. This is definitely a part where you can really change your Pokemon roster around by getting to get those Pokemon. Because a lot of the ones you catch in Safari Zone are already like level 20, level 30. Like, there's some strong Pokemon in there. I mean, there's some weak ones too, but like...
Yeah, mixture.
But that you could actually catch higher level ones because, like, at the beginning of the game, you're only catching 5s and 10s, and it escalates as it goes. But being able to catch a Pokemon that's that high of a level is pretty helpful, and could end up being a guy in your team right away.
Yeah,
which is nice. Then from here, you end up fighting the gym leader, whose name is Koga. He uses poison type Pokemon. I didn't find him particularly tough. He was easy to take out.
With a fire Pokemon, some of his Pokemon are, I think they're grass type. I can't remember exactly who he has, but it was not very hard. Yeah. Especially if you have a psychic type, it just destroys them.
So, not bad. I forget where you learn it.
Fly?
Yeah, when do you learn Fly?
You can learn Fly, so if you're in Celadon City, if you go kind of left, all the way left, there's like, before where the Snorlax is blocking you, there's like a bush you can cut.
Okay.
And you go up there and like there's some random lady who's, I think, a celebrity, something.
Okay.
That she'll give you Fly if you like don't tell people she's there. essentially.
Okay.
So it's really out of the way.
Right.
But it's I guess before probably Future City or Saffron City.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was earlier because I was like I already had Fly, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it's like a random spot.
Right. So you already have Fly, but now that you have Surf, you are able to go to Cinnabar Island, which is where the next gym is.
You get there from Pallet Town too. Like you go back to the very beginning.
Yeah, so you fly to Pallet Town and then
Surf straight down.
across.
Yep.
But also from Fuchsia, I think. Maybe it was Saffron. One of them, you can swim to a different island that's kind of on the way.
Yeah, the Seafoam Islands.
Yeah, the Seafoam Islands. So you get a lot of options. Again, this is where there's like a bike path around here, so there's a lot of freedom of how you wanted to do the last two gyms in this. Like, you really go one route and then go the other, or and again, is really nice way to level your Pokemon up. There's a lot of battles to get in, which is great with either cyclists or trainers or people who are swimming.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that, but
yeah, the swimming people are a little annoying to fight because they never have any money.
Yeah,
I noticed they all give you like $100.
Yeah, like, dude, get out of here.
And it's like,
I guess where would you keep your money if you're swimming? But
no, it makes sense, but it's like you had 5 Pokemon with you. Come on, like I only get $100 for this.
Yeah, cheapo.
Yeah. Versus some people you fight and they're just like made of money. Those are nice when those happen. You're like, bank.
Yep, give me that money.
Yeah. But you head to Cinnabar Island. You can go inside this mansion that's next door to the gym. The gym is locked, so you can't get inside. And inside this mansion, this also has the another system of how to do things, right? You move the statues.
Well, yeah, there's like secret switches on the statues you have to push, and it like unlocks
varying
doors. Yeah, it's pretty annoying.
It's similarly annoying to the teleport thing.
Yep. In here too, there's like these like diaries you can read.
Okay.
Did you ever read those?
I read a couple.
Yeah, so this is basically where later on in the game you fight Mewtwo. This is kind of where Mewtwo was
created.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy because that's why it's destroyed, because he destroyed it.
Okay. I read some of the diaries, but could you get? Was this like caves where there was random Pokemon?
Yeah, it's like basically a cave, but it's a giant house.
Yeah, I spent as little time as I could here. Yeah. Something I would say this later in a general thought, but I'll just say it now. Something that really annoyed me was being in the caves or this when you have to fight random, like in the tall grass or something like that. I'm fine. Like I know I'm getting into it, but it feels annoying here. Is like I'm trying to find a thing, so I found myself kind of annoyed going through caves or here.
Yeah.
Where it's like I'm trying to just battle this guy, or I'm trying to make my way to this side of the cave and I have to fight.
Did you ever use repels?
No.
So you could like stop Pokemon from showing up.
Oh.
Yeah, I use those a lot. Like in things like this, yeah, where you're like, I've caught the Pokemon here I want to catch.
What do you do then? How does it work?
You like go into your items and just use it.
Oh, when they try to fight you, you just use repel? And
no, so you use it and then it keeps Pokemon away for like, 50 steps or 100 steps or 250 steps. Yeah, they're useful as fuck.
I didn't know that. That's good. That was something that I didn't do that well in this game, is I didn't learn all the items or use a lot of them. Like I use some of them. It's fine for being 20 years old or 30 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
But I wish that like even with like the TMs you get, like it just says TM19 or whatever on it, and then you have to hit use to see what it is. And
yeah, there's not much helpful like dialogue boxes about things.
No, right. Or even if you could just see like the whole thing of what it is, like instead you're having to look at each thing to figure what it out is, because and the inventory is sort of limited.
Yeah, it's pretty bad system. Later on games it's way better.
Is it?
Yeah,
that's
way
good.
Better. Yep.
Because that was something that I felt was kind of hard, where it's like after a while I'm just throwing TMs into my computer because I'm like I don't want to hold them, but then occasionally I'd go back and be like, okay, is there anything I could teach my guys now, or that kind of thing. It was like I almost felt like as some of the time went is like when I get a TM I want to give it to someone right away if I can help it, because like otherwise it's just gonna get buried in my shit later.
Yeah, which is fair
kind of thing. So that that's like sort of. And your computer can even get filled up. So then I was at a point where I was just tossing things I don't use, and like that sucks. Like because you should just sell them even if they rip you off for them. Like
I always sell a bunch of stuff. Yeah,
so it's like not a great inventory system, but in fairness to it, it's 30 years old.
Yeah, it's from 1996.
Right. So
which
do
they've improved.
No, right, and I guess too for any qualms I have with this game. They're very, very minor. Like this game is pretty awesome.
So,
sure. Although I'm bitching about something like that, it's a good game.
Yeah, it's worth playing regardless of that.
Right. Oh yeah. But you end up getting the key inside there as you kind of make your way through. You're battling burglars here mostly, which is nice. They have a lot of money.
Yeah, they do, because they're stealing shit.
So that's pretty nice. You can get paid there. After this, you can also, before heading to the gym, is you could go visit the power plant and the Seafoam Islands. And these have more people to battle and are caves, too, similar to caves, right? Power plants that way.
Yep,
also.
and so is the islands.
And while you're inside there, you get options to catch very rare Pokemon. In Power Plant, it's Zapdos, which is an electric bird.
Yep. Legendary Pokemon.
Legendary, super powerful.
Level 50, I think.
Yeah. And then at the Seafoam Islands, it's Articuno, who is Ice Bird.
Yep.
So those are huge. To be able to add them to your group is very, very, very helpful. They're real strong, awesome to have. You could teach Fly too.
Which is very helpful.
Which is helpful to have a guy that way. So that's good. You could do that if you want, kind of as an optional side quest, essentially. I actually ended up not doing either of them when I played, just because I was able to beat people enough that I didn't feel like I needed to go catch them.
I always catch them.
Yeah, I wish I would have. Like, the way I played this time, I know the first time I played, I got them. The first time I played, I tried to get all of the Pokemon.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Maybe did, even with trading. But when I played most recently, before this, I actually didn't catch that many Pokemon. I think my Pokedex was like 40 by the end. So I ended up kind of having a squad and rolling with it.
That makes sense.
But I would definitely catch them, and they would probably be in my starting 6. At least one of them. But
yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, they're awesome. Then you fight the gym leader here. His name's Blaine. He uses fire-type Pokemon.
If you have a water type, it's pretty easy.
Right. Yeah, if you've got a good water, you're all right.
Yep.
After this, you leave Cinnabar Island, and you return to Viridian City. And the gym is reopened. Since then, you go into the gym leader, and it's Giovanni.
Whoa. Crazy.
Yeah, wild. So, essentially, Giovanni had been using this as like a training ground for Team Rocket. So, that's pretty wild.
Yep.
To come up with him again. You end up fighting him again. He uses ground-type Pokemon. He wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
At this point, your
or Venusaur, yeah.
And your Pokemon are pretty good here at this point. And since you fought him several times at this point, his Pokemon are the same. So you're kind of used to fighting him.
Yeah, they're just stronger, and he's more of them.
Right.
So after you beat him, did you talk to him again? I don't
think so.
Yeah, so if you beat him, he gives you a TM. I think it's Earthquake.
Okay, yeah.
And then if you beat him and then you're like done with it, then you talk to him again, he'll like disappear. So like teleport somewhere else and be like, I'm done. Yeah.
Weird. I didn't do that.
So I never do it now because I feel kind of sad because he leaves. But
That's
a
funny.
little tidbit.
No, that's great. I didn't know he did that. After this, you end up going to the left of Viridian City, and there's what you have called Victory Road here.
It's like the path towards the Elite Four, which is like this 4 strongest trainers plus the champion.
Yeah, this is like the spot.
Yep.
So you end up showing guards your badges along the way. If you try to go here too early, you'll get stuck at one where you don't have the right badge.
Yeah, so there's 8 guards, 1 for each badge, whatever.
Did you try to catch Pokemon in the tall grass here? Are there good ones?
Yeah, there's strong ones. There's like level 40-somes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so there's like Machokes, Onyxes, Rhyhorns, Gravelers, like cave Pokemon, basically.
Okay.
Oh, and then in the tall grass, there's like, I forget exactly what they are, and I usually don't try super hard. But there's like level 40s, some Pokemon.
Okay.
They're pretty good.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't go through there because at this point, like when I got to this spot, and that's why I didn't go catch the legendary birds at this point, because I was like, oh, I can really finish this game. So
let's do it.
Yeah, so I was just like tunnel visioned, and my Venusaur was level 70 or something, so I'm like,
yeah.
It's fine. I think I can beat these guys.
Yeah.
So I went kind of tunnel vision at this point here. I was like, I'm going to do this. After you make it through all the badges, though, then you go inside a cave. That on the other side of the cave is the Elite Four. Inside this cave, this is where I felt actually particularly annoyed with the.
Sure, there's a lot of
the one shot.
lot of Pokemon.
The Pokemon
That's where
shot.
repels come in handy because breeze through it.
I think that's what, because before it like mildly bothered me, but it was helpful to level my Pokemon up.
Yeah.
But at this point, I was like, no, I just want to fight them. So I felt a little annoyed.
Sure.
But this was like my spot for that. But inside here, there are various items and people to fight, level up. That's good. But there's a Moltres, which is great.
The third legendary bird Pokemon.
Yes, and it's a fire type, which I did catch this one.
That's good.
And Moltres is good.
Yep.
It was very helpful to have on the team.
Yeah.
It would have been good to have the other two. I think I would have probably had an easier time later on if I'd done it, but I caught Tunnel Vision, so
whatever. Yeah.
that's how it went.
You beat it. That's all that matters.
Right, I did beat the game, so that's fine. After this, you reach the Elite Four. You run into one last like store/Poke Center here. This is nice because you can buy the items you need to go through this Battle of Four. Because the catch with this Battle of Four is that if you lose at any point, you start over.
Yep.
So when I played, I tried to like save scum my way, so I beat one and then I'd save it.
That's what I would do too every time.
Because it's like I don't want to.
It's not worth not saving.
Yeah. So I did that as you go. Bought the items I need, make sure I have the Pokemon I actually want. So I'm sure for you, this is where you trade out your one with all the HMs because now you need your 6-man.
Yep, you're my guy. Yep.
Yeah. 6-man of the league.
That's right.
Yeah. So you get that. So the Elite Four, you've got Loralee first. She has Ice-type Pokemon. You've got Bruno, who's got Fighting Pokemon. Agatha with Ghost Pokemon. And then lastly, Lance with Dragon Pokemon. Agatha and Lance are both especially hard.
Yep. I think Agatha's probably the hardest. Because I don't think I really had anyone that was like strong against Ghost-type Pokemon. I think I had people that could kill them. But
when you get hit by her, it was bad.
Yeah, it was unpleasant.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, same for me. This is where Doug Trio saved the day because he could Dig would kill them all almost.
Oh, nice.
Because my Doug Trio was probably up to like a 40-some, and so hers were like 50s maybe or whatever, or maybe even 60. But doing
those are 50s.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
High 50s.
Yeah, decent. Like they were enough high, but Dig could do a lot of one-shot, one-kill, which was really helpful for me here. But
you need that.
Yeah, but then if she would hit you, it's like that's 2/3 of your health. So you're like, all right, you got to make it. Like, because
come on, buddy.
Yeah, kind of thing. But you fight all of them. It's good. Definitely challenging. For sure. This is where it's probably most important in the game to have potions and different things like that. Because
revives. After
going through all of this, like since you can't go back to buy more or anything like that, you need these.
Or the Pokemon Center, you're pretty screwed up. At the end of each fight, it's like, all right, I need some health and some revives and some full heals, whatever.
Right. You need all of those. You beat Lance, and then he's like, well, you are the champion, or you would be, but someone actually got here right before you. And then dun dun dun.
Freaking Gary, classic.
That bitch Gary's here.
Bitch ass Gary.
Yeah. Of course, Gary is there, and he's like, "Oh, I'm the best Pokemon master," and you're like, "God damn it, Gary!"
I'm gonna beat your ass.
Yeah, fuck you up, and you do, which is wonderful.
His Pokemon are strong.
He is hard.
Yep.
This is where I blacked out a couple times.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I got stuck here for a little bit, so I had to regrind and level up a little more and come back because I got stuck here for a second because Gary's Pokemon are really strong.
Yeah, they are. And well balanced.
Yeah, I had to both grind a little more to get better because I really mostly just had to grind at Viridian Forest at the beginning of the game and then here for me, as I had to do that, and I had to get a little smarter about my moveset. So like before, I was just kind of running people over with Venusaur, but to go through all these battles, Venusaur faints at some point. And so I had to like get the Pokemon, the revives and stuff like that. When I figured out that Diglett could kill Agatha's Pokemon, I was like, "Cool, you're my one. You run point against her," and then I'd switch it. So I had to kind of figure out my like way to do that and get a little stronger. But getting to Gary, he's a tough fight. And maybe that's probably what makes him good as a rival, is he's a worthy adversary. Like his Pokemon are good. He doesn't usually waste his moves doing non-attack things, because that's something you do see when you fight people, is they're like tail whip. They're like mega punch, you're dead.
Thanks for doing that.
Or harden or growl or something like that. Like everyone's kind of prone to doing non-attack moves at times, which is great because for me, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just knock you out.
Yeah.
But Gary doesn't really do that. He matches your aggressiveness, I feel like, and so he makes a hard person to fight because his Pokemon are all like 60s here.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Oh, they are. I think except for one, it's like 59.
Yeah, they're all very strong. It's hard to fight him. You can't just out strong him.
Yeah.
Because when I was fighting, my Venusaur's a 70, but it's only 10 above, which isn't that great.
Yeah, I think his highest one's like 65.
Yeah.
Pretty high.
Yeah. So he's tough. He's challenging. So you fight him though. You beat him. After you beat him, Professor Oak shows up. He's like, I was showing up to congratulate you, Gary, but I found out you suck at Pokemon, and Ash, my real grandson,
Yep. Pride and joy here.
My pride and joy here.
Yeah.
The pride of Pallet Town. like a grandson I always wanted.
Rubs in a little bit.
Yeah, he kind of rags on Gary a little bit.
Yeah.
He's like, I came here to congratulate you, but it's Ash.
I was too late.
Yeah, too late. Sorry, dude. Smell you later.
Yeah. Little bitch.
Yeah. You kind of get that, and then Professor Oak says, guess what? Welcome to the Pokemon Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And so you go to the Hall of Fame. They give you your final lineup, and they show each of your Pokemon joining the Hall of Fame, and then they show Ash joining the Hall of Fame. It's pretty sweet. For me, my final lineup that made the Hall of Fame was Venusaur, Butterfree, Dugtrio, Vaporeon, so I evolved my Eevee into Vaporeon so I could use Surf.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was between that and something else because I never had a good electric type, so I was thinking about that a bit. Or
fair.
Actually, until Moltres, I didn't have a good fire type either. So
That's fair.
I was kind of considering. So Vaporeon, Hitmonlee, and then Moltres. So that was my 6. Pretty good 6. I like that. I think if I was going to sub ones out, Hitmonlee would be first out, and then Butterfree would be kind of next out.
Yeah, it's fair.
Dugtrio's dig was so helpful. That,
never sub him out.
Yeah, that dude's on the squad forever.
For life.
Yeah.
Lifetime max contract.
Right. Lifetime deal.
Yeah.
You can retire with Ash.
Hell yeah. So my lineup, the last time I played was Charizard, Gyarados, Rhydon, Aerodactyl, Dragonite, and Raichu. So I tried to have a somewhat mixed group, kind of like you did too.
Yeah.
So if I started with Charmander, I'd always get a Gyarados, but if I started with Squirtle, I'd always get a Arcanine for fire. Those are my go-tos.
No, yeah, that's good. That's helpful. I think that's probably what makes this game good about replay value. Even is the plans you'd have like that. Because the first time you play, you're just doing shit.
Yeah. Trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Right, and for me, this was the first time I played in, I don't know, since 4th grade or something like that, probably.
Yeah.
So it's it was like playing for the first time in a lot of ways, except that I had the internet to give me advice occasionally.
Which is really helpful.
Yeah, which mostly I used to figure out how not to get stuck. Not as much for system advice or whatever, but I'd do that, or where can you buy this kind of potion or something. But yeah. And then we got TLPBC wrote in for their final lineup. They had Venusaur, Ninetales,
Kabutops,
Pidgeot, Jolteon, and Hitmonlee. So
pretty solid
lineup. Good lineup. So yeah, that is Pokemon Red and Blue.
Yeah, crazy.
So on to some general thoughts we had. For me, one thing was I was a little worried playing this game that my nostalgia from childhood would be too high, and I'd that the game's actually just okay, but I remembered loving it then or something like that. And it was totally the opposite. Instead, I found myself liking the game even more than I remembered. I remembered enjoying it, but playing it now, I'm like, this is sick.
Yeah. This
is really good. I'm really glad I played it. It's actually probably in my top 10 of games that I like in general. It was oh, this is a top 10. It wasn't just nostalgia. It wasn't just, back then it was great, but it's legit great. It's awesome.
It is crazy how a game that's, 30, yeah, freaking almost 25 years old, 23 years old, is still, I love it. Yeah, because this was the first game I ever played as a kid, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, wow.
Because I got a Game Boy, then I got this game when I was 6 or 7 or something. Probably 6. And yeah, I remember playing it for hours and hours. A bunch of kids in my school played it. We traded Pokemon, battled Pokemon. It was so much fun. So yeah, I play this game probably once every year or 2 years or something like that. So every time I'm this game is sweet. It just never gets boring or never gets old.
No, yeah, it's surprisingly good. And even things that are bad aren't particularly bothersome.
Yeah, I mean, and they're basically just because it's like this game's old. Like,
Right.
you kind of walk slower. Like, the item navigation system is not great.
Right.
But it almost adds to it because it's like, yeah, this game's old. And it's like, I even love the graphics. It's really weird.
No,
and
yeah.
the music, the 16-bit music, or was it 8-bit music?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's
like it a lot.
amazing. And like sometimes I'll like play the new Pokemon games, but like, man, this is too detailed. I don't like it. I'll like go back and play Red and Blue. I'm like, this is right. This is how it should be.
No, yeah.
It's weird.
No, yeah. I really like this. And Yellow, I liked a lot too.
Same.
So that's different since you start with Pikachu, but and
Still,
isn't color.
But you can get all 3 of the starters though in that game.
Oh, can you? Okay.
Without trading. Yep.
Cool. I couldn't remember like what the deal was for that. But yeah, it's really nice. It's pretty great. It's a high quality game. Another thing, this isn't a fact I knew, but it was a fact I looked up, is that each game is actually missing 11 Pokemon, and so the idea, like you said, is trading with your friends. When I had this, my sister also had a Game Boy, and so she had Blue version, which is actually what I most recently played, because a while ago she gave me her Game Boy Color and Pokemon Blue, and before I went on vacation a little while ago, I saw that I had it, and I was like, I'm going to take this with me.
This is necessary.
Yeah, and so then I've been playing Pokemon since then. But she had Blue version, I had Red on my Game Boy as a kid, and so we would trade the other one. So I think I got all 150, or at least tried to. I don't remember exactly, but...
yeah, I've done it a few times, but then now I don't try to.
Right.
I just like the story and raise my team up.
Yeah.
Get Mewtwo.
Right, yeah, I think it's a lot more fun now, just kind of getting your guys moved up and figuring out what kind of team you want to build and stuff like that, and the story of going through. But yeah, so that is kind of unique. That was something that in one of like the reasons why they made this game is they thought it would be cool for socially to be able to trade Pokemon with each other and battle your friends and stuff like that.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Which is interesting because like I wouldn't naturally think of that as a selling feature of this game, but they definitely built it that way, especially with 11 being across, like not on each. Because in my head, I thought it was only a few. Like I imagined it was you could get 145 or something.
Yeah.
Instead of you're really at like 139. That's like that would make you want to get you're like, all right, I gotta trade someone. I gotta do that.
Because there's a couple you can't get unless you trade. So like you trade like a Kadabra, Haunter, or Graveler, and they'll evolve when you trade them.
Oh.
And then there's ones you just like Eevee. You can't get the other 2 evolutions.
Right.
If you trade for them, or
Right. Which, yeah, that's kind of that'd be hard because I wouldn't want to give mine away. Really, I guess what you'd like if you were sort of cheating.
Yeah.
Is you would play Blue and Red on your own, and you'd have your main one, but then you'd have other games, and you'd get to that point, evolve it, and then trade it to yourself.
I've done that before.
to get the other ones, I guess.
For sure.
Because I wouldn't want to get rid of, like, if I got them, I wouldn't want to trade them away. So I guess you'd have to, like, if I had an Eevee that was evolved into all 3, or one of the 3, I don't want to give that away to get the other one. Like, to fill my Pokedex out, I want them both.
Yeah, that'd be hard. You have to trade something different.
Yeah. I guess if you, like, I don't know. But kind of cool, though.
Yeah, and I guess similar to you, like, the nostalgia in this game is so crazy. Like, I can remember specific times even playing this game, like what I was doing, what I was thinking about, how I was feeling when I was, like, between 6 and 10, It's crazy. And, I mean, there's a bunch more I could say about this, but it's probably one of my top 5 favorite games.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 even, I'm not sure. Just so nostalgic.
Yeah. It really is. I remember that too, like being on vacation with family, and we're like driving somewhere and just playing Pokemon like the whole car ride, something like that. And I remember having like that light for your Pokemon
like a worm light or something. I think it was called a worm light.
Yeah, and it had like the magnify thing, and so
dude, yeah, I had that too.
Yeah, and you'd have that, and you just go, and it's like it could be night, and my dad's driving on vacation something, and I'm just catching Pokemon like.
Yeah, I was trying to sneak into my room when I was sleeping, and I put the covers over my head, and my mom would come and take it, and I'd do it again the next night.
She's not
gonna remember. Mom.
She's not gonna remember to come in, and I'm gonna catch them all.
Yeah, it was like 10 p.m. And she was like, probably awake for another 3 hours. Like I'm just gonna trick her somehow.
Oh yeah, it's so great. What a awesome.
I know. So
awesome game.
Amazing.
Yeah, really brings those back, and it's crazy because a lot of games that I liked as a kid, playing them again now, I'm like, okay, nostalgia did more than the game itself or something.
Yeah,
like
sure.
I like this because of then or something, but this one was one where you play it and you're like,
Still really fun.
It's like as good or better than I remember, because there are definitely things I appreciate now that I didn't then, that I would have missed, like because I'm a kid.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So, yeah, well done, Pokemon. What a great first entry to a series that has, maintained relevance and been big and huge, and people love it.
It might stay that way for as long as I can probably be alive. I don't know. But
no, yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere.
Yeah, and they keep making pretty good games.
Right, yeah. So, well done, Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else? Or?
Nope, yeah, I'm...
Cool.
I mean, there's a lot more I could say, but I don't even know how to say it, so...
Sure.
Let's move on.
No, yeah. So, a little bit of listener feedback we've got. Dave on Twitter said some of his favorite parts of Pokemon was being able to catch Mewtwo and catching Snorlax.
Did you catch Mewtwo?
I didn't go back.
Yeah,
But also, I fucked up and used the Master Ball to catch Moltres.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to catch him, right?
Never. I mean, you could. It's
take a lot longer.
Yeah, it's harder. Yeah.
Yeah, I've when I was in tunnel vision and just trying to.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat this game.
Grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think after I caught Moltres, I was like roaming around trying to grind, and I found that cave, and I was like, fuck.
I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
Yeah,
but
I always catch Mewtwo. He's like my favorite Pokemon to get.
He's sweet.
Yeah,
I remember.
Super powerful.
I remember as a kid, like doing the cheats and stuff like that, where you could get the rare candy treat by doing the surf thing and all that, and catching Mewtwo, and just having like insane ones, because then you can keep fighting the final four, right?
Yeah, as many times as you want. You can beat them all with Mewtwo by himself.
Right. I was gonna say I remember leveling up where I'd using the rare candy cheat, and then I've got like all 99 Pokemon, and then I just go and wreck them.
Yep.
Stuff like that. Like I remember doing all like the crazy New Game Plus essentially kind of things.
Just destroy them.
Yeah, kind of thing like that. But yeah, I didn't actually do that this time. I fucked up.
We got Anders on Twitter says the difficulty of the games is what he likes. The newer ones are a tad bit too easy and tend to feel kind of repetitive. Red and Blue is less forgiving and therefore more engaging. I would agree. The newer games, they do really make it like it's easy to level up your Pokemon. If your Pokemon are lower level, they get more experience points. It's like, which it makes sense in some ways, but like they definitely have. I feel like they should have a hard mode, so it's more like Red and Blue on some games.
No,
I agree with him.
No, that makes sense. That's something I was surprised by actually by this too. This game is fairly hard and fairly grindy, and neither of those are things that I particularly like now, or probably liked then. So I'm really surprised that I like beat this game as a kid.
Yeah.
Without the internet and stuff like that.
I know.
And it's very surprising because like I'm not that into grinding now. Like I'll do it, but it's not a preferred gaming thing for me. So I'm surprised how much I like it. And I did like the difficulty. Playing this time, I was like, there were times where I lost. Like I had to do the Elite Four a couple times. I lost to Brock a lot in the beginning. Like things like that, or to some of the ghost Pokemon, like that sort of thing. But it was like, it was fine. I was fine rolling with it, and like still liked it, which was cool. Like it was the proper amount of grinding, probably. Maybe if it was too much more, I wouldn't have liked it. But,
I'm like, this is annoying.
Right, but it didn't really feel annoying almost ever. So that's pretty good. Peter on Twitter wrote in and said, an asshole to rival. I miss those guys. And there was a gif of Gary opening the door on Ash's face.
Yeah.
And Ash being mad.
Yes. Gary sucks.
Yeah, Gary sucks. Good rival. Maybe one of the better bad guys in games.
Yeah.
In a sense. He's a perfect rival for Ash.
For a 10-year-old, yep.
Yeah.
Blaze Knight on Twitter says, as a kid, I was playing the game with my friends, sharing Pokemon, and completing the Pokedex. Yeah, I remember that stuff so much when I was like, elementary school. So fun.
Yeah, cool. Definitely one where they've, I guess especially thinking pre-internet gaming, like, still made you play with your friends, like in a good way, you know, because like until Xbox Live and stuff like that, that wasn't as common, but this game really set that up. Otherwise, it was always like co-op, but this was different than that. So that's pretty
more interactive with other people.
Yeah, pretty cool. TLPBC on Twitter wrote in, I personally can't pick one favorite part. These games are great, and honestly, I have too many iconic moments to just choose one.
That's kind of how I feel too.
No, yeah, there's so many things that I remembered as I was going, and I was like, oh my god, this is here, this thing. Like, I'm surprised how much of this game was in my head.
Amazing. Last up, we got Nikki on Twitter, says, I can't speak for those on the remakes, but on these, when I beat almost the entire game with just my over-leveled Raticate. My starter wasn't even on the final evolution when I reached the Elite Four. So that's crazy. I feel like I've never actually used Eradicate before. That's really impressive.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I was talking to, or I saw Andrew from Good Game, Great Game. He's playing one of the new gens, and I think there's some Pokemon on there that's supposed to be really weak and lame, and he just caught 6 of them, and he's like doing a playthrough online where he's just only playing with those Pokemon, trying to beat the game.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's
and
great.
They're ones that are like lame. Like I think it would be like if you chose 6 Magikarps and started with that, and that's how you like.
Seems impossible.
Yeah, it was something like that, and it was like, that's kind of fun with this game. Is there's all sorts of fun ways you could go about it if you wanted. Like, all right, I'm doing a fire only one, and so I'm gonna just play that way, or one Pokemon all the way through, or all sorts of things you could choose to do in this game, which is pretty fun. Like, no playthrough is probably the same as any other. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Even for you, saying you played tons of times.
Yeah, and still fun each time.
Still fun each time. They're all different enough.
It feels different enough. Yeah.
Right, which is, to have a replayability of a game like that, especially one that's, I probably spent 20, 25 hours playing.
Yep. It's decent.
Yeah.
Pretty sizable.
Yeah, to have that game be enjoyable to replay again and again. And even that, I know Yellow, you have the same lineup, right? So you go through Pallet Town to Viridian City and all the way. Are all the games that way?
No, they're like, there's like different regions.
Okay, so it's not all Kanto.
No.
Okay.
No. Silver, Gold, and Crystal, you start in Johto, but then you can go back to Kanto. So it's the biggest one in my opinion.
Oh, cool.
Because you can go like 2 different regions, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
But, that's like that's crazy. Like, that we all loved Yellow after playing this. Like, I really liked Yellow, and I had a Game Boy Color, so it was in color, so that looks
great.
great.
It's like a pretty similar game.
Yeah.
But it's still super fun to play.
Right, you still go to Brock and Misty and so on, but it's still great. Like, and you catch the same Pokemon in that one. Like, it's cool that they, I don't know, managed to make games that are that cool, and that high replayability. I don't know how many games I probably own a couple games that are over 25 hours that I would play again and enjoy just as much. There's a couple,
Yeah,
like
not many though.
Yeah, but not a lot. So well done, Pokemon. You made an awesome game. Red and blue version, very cool. I assume all of you have played this game because I feel like if this wasn't a part of your childhood, like, it's kind of surprising. Like, if you ever owned a Game Boy but didn't play this somehow, it's kind of crazy because this was like the game.
Yep, seriously.
But it was wonderful. Really loved it. Nostalgia was great, but the game itself was great. Great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's the episode. So next time we'll be back at the end of the month for the 4th episode of Life is Strange 2. No trailer out yet, but I'm sure one will come in a week or 2. So we're really excited for that. Also, if you would like to rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast, that would really help us out, just getting our show out there more visible for people who like the kind of games that you and us like. So we'd really appreciate that. You can email us at TheGreatestStoryEverPlayed@gmail.com. You can talk to us on Twitter at StoryEverPod. I'm pretty active on there and post a lot of stuff, so if you want to engage, that'd be fun. I'd like to do that. And that's the episode. We'll see you in a few weeks with Life is Strange 2.
Yep, later.